Well, it's official. Will Ospreay is all elite. This is one of the biggest signings in AEW history. A man who is in the prime of his career, who is arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, at least if he fits your taste, is now a part of AEW. The shocking news is that this happened before Will Ospreay's contract with New Japan even ended. Will Ospreay will still focus on New Japan until around March, but after that he's completely all elite. This is a true game changer for AEW, and that term is thrown around a lot. But here, it's true. Will Ospreay is one of the greatest wrestlers in the world right now. Will Ospreay is in his prime, and in this video I'm going to explain what's next for Will Ospreay and how Will Ospreay could be one of the biggest AEW signings of all time. So let's break it down. Why is Will Ospreay such a big signing for AEW? I've already mentioned the fact that he's in his prime, but he's also beloved by the AEW audience. He is perfect for the AEW audience. The AEW fan base puts him up with the likes of Kenny Omega, puts him up with the likes of Bryan Danielson. They consider him to be one of the greatest of all time. They consider him to be one of the greatest to do it right now. Will Ospreay is the perfect signing for the AEW mold. He can have a great match with the majority of the roster, and he can have some fantastic stories too. Will Ospreay is someone who could become a world champion sooner rather than later. If I had to make a prediction, I say by Wembley Stadium, by All In 2 or 3 I guess, Will Ospreay is going to be facing whoever is the world champion, whether it be MJF or Swerve Strickland, and he's going to win that world championship in the stadium, and it's going to be one of the greatest moments in AEW history. And to be completely honest, at a time where AEW is really struggling in terms of momentum, this is a much needed win for them. They signed a star who every company had interest in, including the WWE, before his contract even expired. This is a massive win. This shows that top talent still want to go to AEW because they have one of the best rosters in the world, and Will Ospreay being there solidifies that. This is one of the biggest signings in AEW history. I'm going to keep repeating that because it's true. The fact that he signed before his contract even expired shows how much he wants to be there, shows how much he wants to succeed in AEW, and I truly believe he's going to be up there with the levels of Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, one of the most successful stars in this company. Will Ospreay signing with them gave them this much needed boost that they needed, gave them this much needed momentum that they needed. This is one of their biggest signings of all time. This is their biggest signing since Danielson in my eyes. To end this video off, all I have to say is one thing, and that is, if you want to succeed as a company in 2023 or soon to be 2024, having Will Ospreay on your roster helps a ton. Will Ospreay is someone who can have a major match with any top star. He could main event any pay-per-view with any top star. You put Will Ospreay in the ring with MJF, a program with MJF, that will sell. You put him in the ring with Kenny Omega, those two have a ton of history, and that will sell. You put him in the ring with Jon Moxley, you put him in the ring with Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page, you put him in the ring with anybody and it will sell because people want to see Will Ospreay. Whether it be the feud or the match, especially the match, Will Ospreay is going to be a draw for your company. When it comes to the AEW audience, there is no one better than Will Ospreay. And now that he is completely all elite, AEW have just signed one of the biggest stars in the wrestling world.